Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, nako, magandang gabi ho sa inyong lahat, no. Ayan, medyo may ibo pa, may sipon pa. Ayan, galing sa kumbaga trangkaso, down with the flu, no. Okay, so magandang gabi ho sa inyong lahat. Ako po si SONNY Laragan at medyo sexy ho ang boses ko sa gabing ito. Masyadong malumanay, masyadong romantiko, no. but welcome ho sa ating program. Good evening sa ating mga kababayan sa apat na sulok ng United Kingdom ho, no. Wales, Scotland medyo zero COVID something sila, no. Nag-press conference, parang nakita ko yata sa television yung kanilang first minister, si napangalan nun yung maiksi ang buhok. Nako, may babanggitin na lang sa akin ni attorney. So yeah, Wales, Scotland, England and Northern Ireland, welcome ho sa ating program. It's Happy Tuesday na naman ho, no? Happy Tuesday. Na-miss namin kayo ho on a live program, so we just had a replay last week. Ngayon ho, live ho to. Authentic. Nakikita nyo, mamaya baka nauubo pa tayo sa show, no? At may something warm ho ako rito. Samahan niyo ho kami ngayong gabi na ito, no? Dito ho sa ating programa na Legal Advice Corner. Siyempre, no, hindi naman ho akong talagang dahilan kung bakit kayo nanonood dito. Dahilan ho, ito ho yung ating napaka-smarte, napakatalino, maganda, no? Lahat na ho yata ng mga qualities nasa kanya na ho. Isang Pinay ho yan. At siya ho ang managing partner ng Deo Valente Solicitors, no? Or DV Solicitors. Mga kaibigan, ang aking co-host every Tuesday night. And the person who makes our Tuesdays happy, walang iba kundi si Attorney DANNA QUINTO. Attorney, magandang gabi sa iyo.
Magandang gabi, Mr. Laragan. It's nice to be back here sa ating show. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Ika, Mr. Laragan, sa lahat ng kababayan natin sa apat na sulok ng United Kingdom, including plus Scotland. I think you meant Nicola Sturgeon ba yung ibig mo sabihin kanina, Mr. Laragan, the first?
Oo nga.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
So,
It's
ganda na.
hindi ako makahirit nung the usual natin attorney. Parang cool kunyari lang, no. Parang suwabing-suwabe. Chill na, parang ganun lang, no.
Yun lang tayo ngayon. Suwabe lang tayo para hindi mabinat si Mr. Laraga. Easy lang.
Hindi, attorney, gusto ko lang alamin nga pala, meron akong antigen na 7 days. Yun ba yung sinasabi mong ino-order mo nga pala?
Hindi po, meron pong lateral flow test. Lateral flow test po, hindi po yun antigen. Pang ano lang po to, pang check kung COVID positive ka or hindi. Pero kung may symptoms, kung may ano ka, kailangan mo talaga magpa-PCR. Ito yung parang normal test lang na it would indicate kung posible kang may virus. But it's always good to do the PCR, yung talagang doon ka pupunta dun sa main center.
Bakit hindi ba reliable yan?
It's not the most reliable. They call it a rapid test kasi within 30 minutes, lalabas na eh. Lalabas na yung linya,
Mhm.
linya kung
So hindi, yan ang meron ako, attorney, yung antigen. Kasi nga, tumawag ako sa NHS, hindi, nakalimutan ko na kung anong number yon. Tapos, tinatanong kasi wala akong very high temperature, high na high masyado. Wala naman akong ano ba tawag ito, continuous cough tapos wala rin akong loss of smell and taste. Ano pa may yung mga main ones? So, sabi sa akin, trangkaso lang yan, o kaya ano lang yan.
hay fever.
Hay fever, tama. Tama ka, hay fever. So, ganun ba? So, meron akong yung parang, sa nose lang, attorney, mga 10:30.
Pareho po, doon din, pareho, nose and throat. And,
Hindi sa akin. Hindi sa inakuha ko. Hanapin ko nga. Alam ko, ano lang siya, attorney. Nagtaka nga ako, kasi nakausap ko si Peps Villanueva, yung ating kaibigan. Sa kanya, yung sa throat ba? At saka sa ilong.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Baka iba na ngayon, baka high-tech na yung mga nakuha.
Nagkamali yan. Hindi, kaya ako natawa. Nagkamali yan. Kailangan style out. Nauna mo na ilong ba? Dahil ano yata yan, dapat yata sa lalamunan mo na yata. And then, sa ilong na pagkatapos. Ayun, pero sa akin, kaya nagtataka ako, sabi ko, because when I spoke to Peps, bakit ganun? Ang natanggap ko, ilong lang. Ganon, ilong lang talaga. Ilong lang, walang ilong lang talaga. Walang
Baka ano na sila ngayon, streamlined na ang processes nila. Mas advanced na tayo nakuha mga antigen, yung rapid flow test eh. So, that's good. Hopefully, kung wala naman daw temperatura at walang continuous cough, hopefully, ano lang yan, trangkaso. At we hope you get better soon, Mr. Laragan. Dahil naman
nga eh. Teka muna, sige. Ako...
Pwede ka lang magkano dyan. Ako na muna. Ako na rin magtatanong sa sarili ko mamaya.
Hindi, okay lang, attorney. Okay lang. Hindi, ako, I was in bed the whole time. Siyempre, trying kasi, ang feeling mo kasi, rest lang, baka, di ba, rest is sabi nga, sleep is a great restorer, di ba? Kaya lang siguro baka na-tiyempo lang talaga kaya extended mahaba tong aking I had to get up yesterday although I was not really feeling well until siguro mga even yesterday. Kaya lang we had this show with with Ambassador Philip Lullier. I don't know kung nakita mo 'yon. Lullier,
nakita ko po. Yeah.
Yung may-ari.
Talaga na M. Lullier? Oh my
God. No. Kapatid niya 'yon, kuya niya 'yon. Pero he was between the brothers. He was the one who started it, no? Although their dad, alam mo ba ang history niya, attorney, ng Lullier? Yung father-in-law was a French consul eh. Dumating dito back in the 1930s. And then mga hindi ko alam kung 1940, basta a certain sinimulan niya ahensyas Cebuana, sa Cebu.
You're right, yeah.
Now, si Ambassador Lullier, amongst the children yata siya ang talagang nagsimula because he took up management in LaSalle. And then, sa Libertad, I don't know if you're familiar with Metro Manila, may part ng Libertad malapit sa LaSalle, doon niya tinayo yung unang Cebuana Lullier.
Ang galing!
At saka yung pangalan nila, parang, di ba, parang sa atin, parang El Comedor, El Las Palmas, ganyan.
Yeah.
Ang Lullier pala, L, tapos apostrophe, tapos Julier, parang Julier. So actually, nagiging Lullier, pero actually Julier lang yun eh. Parang L ka. Diba yung minsan sa mga French yata, they put an L, El Hotel, ganun. Apostrophe. L apostrophe, ganun. Mabait si Ambassador at well-loved in different places that he's served, Italy. Ngayon nasa Spain siya.
Nasa Spain. He's our ambassador.
He's our ambassador sa Spain.
He's our ambassador sa Spain. Oh, it'd be good to meet him one day. Tayong dalawa mahilig sa Spanya, so
yes,
it would be good.
We would be most welcome, and he loves it, no?
That's good.
Sabihin na natin, Lullier family, one of the billionaires of the Philippines, di ba? Sabihin na natin, di ba?
Yes, yeah.
Di ba?
Oh,
They
very,
have
very well-known na name sa Pilipinas.
over 2,500 yung Cebuana Lulier. Yung M Lulier, kasi yung M kasi Michelle. Di ba Michelle, lalaki yon? Dito sa Michel, di ba?
That's
Yung
right.
walang double L-E. L,
Correct. Yeah.
ano ba? Michelle. Oh. Tinanong ko sa kanya, ano ba pronunciation nun? Mikel ba o Michelle? Michelle. Okay. So, Michelle.
And
Okay,
who's
Michelle.
that? Is that the father?
No, that's his older brother. Kasi may...
That's the older
so yung
brother.
father niya, ano ba pangalan ng father niya? Nakalimutan ko na. Tapos followed by, may brother siya yung may-ari ng M. Lulier. Siya naman ang may-ari ng, ano pangalan nito? Ng Cebuana Lulier.
Cebuana Luwalier, yes.
Oh.
Okay.
So yeah, it
Alala
was
ko
nice.
yun
So yun, I had to wake up, I had to stand up, pero actually mostly stand up to do the show. Pero mostly nasa hindi naman bedridden, kundi nasa bed lang ako. Ikaw, attorney, anong ginawa mo noon? 2 weeks tayong hindi nagkita because last week was a replay, di ba? So the last time I saw you was in July pa. Uy, teka muna, batiin ko lang yung father ko, no? Happy birthday. Kailan nasa heaven na siya eh. Yung father ko si Ben Hamin Laragan. So happy birthday, Papa ang tawag ko, Papa, no? And when he died, I was about 11 years old yata. 11, 12, 11. Oh, yeah. So yung aking father in heaven, si Benjamin Laragan, happy birthday. Ayun, attorney, anong ginawa mo?
Exactly.
2 weeks.
Well, kailangan natin hindi ito na natin. Dapat doon natin i-report last week yung first ever gold ng Pilipinas. Diba?
Si Heidelin.
Heidelin Diaz, diba? So I've been watching, not watching, pinafollow ko yung mga resulta ng Olympics. So, very, very pleased nung nanalo siya ng gold. And followed by Miss Silver pa tayo kay Nesty
Petesio, yes.
Petesio and Yumer Marshall, bronze. Talagang dami ngayon. And
wow.
Carla Paalam daw po.
Yes.
Carla Paalam is a third of bronze as well. So, nakakatuwa. It's amazing. And for all, sila throughout, simula nung nag-iisip ako, talagang naisip ko na yung mga times na every May Olympic, talagang sabik tayo magka-gold. Sino nga ba yun? Si Velasco ba yun? Yung boxer? Na nagka-bronze tayo. Wala pa ako yun.
Si Onyok Velasco, yes.
Yun yung Velasquez ba yun? Siya yun, ano? Siya ba yun? Or sino ba yun?
Onyok Velasco, he won the silver in the Tokyo Olympics yata, if I'm not mistaken. Tokyo Olympics, yeah. He became an actor, comedian sa mga television shows. Pero I heard his interview. I don't know kung napanood mo yun, attorney, or napakinggan. Kasi dito ngayon, di ba, kay Heidelin, ano pa nito? Si Heidelin Diaz.
Yes.
Maraming, siguro more than 43 to 53 million. Oh, yeah. Yun nga, ganito. Ganito ang sabi ni Onyok Velasco, sana hindi mapako. Kasi, a long time ago when he won the first ever na mas mataas na medalya, dahil silver. First ever ng mga Filipinos yan, the Philippines, no?
Yeah.
Maraming na ipangako sa kanya. Mga milyones and so on and so forth na hindi natanggap. Bahay, binigyan siya. Pero alam mo ba, ang pakiusap lang niya, nang nagmamakaawa siya, alam mo kung bakit? Sana bigyan na siya ng titulo doon sa bahay niya. Up to now, may premyo siya ng bahay, wala pa siyang titulo.
Ay, nako. Sana hindi iwan.
Di ba may century... Hindi, may century properties na attorney na condominium yata. Ang dami mga binigay. Bibigay yata si Presidente Duterte nga ba ng house and lot? Yata, parang yun yata. Di ba?
Ang dami pong prices. So, kahit dito, I think it was reported here the level of prices and mga sponsorships na nakuha ni Heidelin. And we're very, very proud of her kasi unusual dito sa UK, they don't go home kasi Tom Daley, ang dami din natin gold. Tom Daley won gold for, Atlas after, I think, 4 Olympics.
Not on an individual basis yata, di ba?
No, ewan ko kung ano pa.
Hindi. Yung kasama niya, nanalo yata on an individual basis eh.
An individual, si Matty, umuwi na ata si Matty eh. Yung individual niya ata sa Friday pa eh. Sa Friday pa ata yung Or
Parang may narinig ako, attorney. May narinig ako, attorney, na
Ano
parang
yun,
nanalo
yung
yata
niya
ng...
is synchro po
Hindi,
yung
yung synchro nanalo, pero meron pa yatang isa,
Nanalo
pati,
siya.
may isang Briton ba yata, hindi ko alam. Parang
Manalo
in-passing
sila.
lang yung balita na napanood ko. Oo.
Si, si Tom, I think it's because he's been trying for 4 Olympics
Oh, yes.
to win a gold. So,
Grabe, no?
it's quite special, di ba? Yung 4 na Olympics mo, halos buong buhay mo, tinatry mo. At least nakuha niya, nakakatawa. It's very, very good. Ang dami
Nasaan
niya,
ka?
ang dami.
Madami. Totoo yan. Madami. Equestrian. Hindi, gusto ko lang itanong lang, nasan ka in 2012, attorney?
Andito na ako. Nasa UK ako. Andito ako sa UK.
Ano, first year mo na
Pinapalo ko
nandito?
yan.
Second year mo na? Pang ilang taon mo na yan?
Fifth year ko na. It would have been my
Fifth year mo na in
ako.
2012 nung nagkaroon ng London Olympics?
Yes, kakatapos ko lang ng law school. Kakatapos ko lang ng law school.
Wow. Nasa Bedfordshire ganyan, attorney?
Nasa St. Albans po ako.
Hertfordshire?
Hertfordshire, correct.
Oh, right. Okay. Wait, maswerte kami because we had this media passes and we had the chance to go to the Olympic Village. Yeah. Tapos when you go there, ang sarap ng pagkain. May kanya-kanyang lugar doon. Yung malaking lugar doon sa... Yung ngayon... Teka mo, saan ba kami kumakain? Basta meron kami kinakainan eh. Lahat ng athletes, mamimit mo ron, makakabangga mo ron. And then they have different kinds of foods. Pero may part doon, McDonald's. May part doon na kunyari, Chinese food. May part doon na parang Indian food or kanya-kanya mga pagkain. Pero anybody can eat all you can. As much as you can. Tapos nandun kami.
Yun yung ano nila, no? Dining hall, the Olympic.
The Olympics, maganda Olympics. So we were there, nung narration flag ng Philippines, no, parang to symbolize the joining, so andun kami, the joining of the Philippines or participation of the Philippines, andun kami, and then we met a lot of people, and I met Heidelin Diaz. Nung panahon yes. Oh, galing siya. She started, I think that was her second Olympics. Nakasali yata siya sa Beijing yata. So Beijing, para lang sumari ka lang para ma-experience mo yung competition. And then yung sa UK, hindi siya nanalo, pero at least she was building her her experience. Eventually she made it, no? After sumunod sa 2012 Rio Olympics. Tama. Oh. So she made it on her 4th Olympics. Tama?
Then, yes. Ang galing. Nakakatawa. Nakakapanindig-balibo kasi pinanood ko yung video nung pinlay yung Lupang Hinirang. Doon nasa podium sila for the first time ever sa Olympics. Tapos yung sumaludo siya kasi I think she's a naval officer, Navy ata.
Nasa Army ata, Army or something.
Or military arm. Nakakapanindig-balihiba talaga.
Yes.
Nakaka-proud talaga.
Pero mga Pilipino sumali since 1932 ba? 28? O imagine mo, from
27
then,
ata.
1927. Ang una-una nating nanalo yata, hindi ko alam kung bronze si Chofilo Ildefonso yata. Parang ganun yata.
Yes.
Oo, nanalo sa, ano ba pinanalunan niya? Ikaw ba, attorney, di ba nagta-taekwondo ka? Taekwondo ba ang ginagawa mo? O hindi?
Hindi po. Jiu-jitsu. I did before. I did taekwondo. Tapos jiu-jitsu yung latest ko na tinry. But I did taekwondo years ago.
Ang jiu-jitsu mo is it an Olympic sport?
Hindi, judo po ang Olympic sport.
Judo, taekwondo.
Judo.
Hindi
Taekwondo,
hindi kasama.
Judo. Hindi po kasama.
Ayun.
Pero nakakatawa pa naman. Magaling ang British sa judo ata. And tayo din, meron tayong panlaban sa judo sa Pilipinas. May panlaban.
Really? Okay. Kaya ako lang natanong yan. Meron tayong kababayan dito, anak ni Flor Morante, na one of my avid viewers na, ever since sa radio nung araw, na may anak siya, si Archie tuloy. Sino ba pangalan ng anak niya? Sumasali sa taekwondo, nananalo ng mga kata-kata, ganyan, o mga competitions. So, hindi ko alam kung nagtuloy-tuloy yung kanyang anak, no? Flor, kung nanonood ka, no? Kumusta na, no? Doon sa iyong son.
Kamusta?
Teka muna, attorney, baka may mga pagbati nga pala, no? Diba?
Pagbati. Sino kaya una ngayon?
Ayan. Ito mga yan. Well, ito napansin ko kanina eh. Nagulat ako, nagsisimula pala. Sabi ko, ang tuloy naman ito. Parang ibang klase, no? Ito. Sige, attorney, hulaan mo lang. Sige, katuwaan na lang.
Marian Galicia Panero pa rin ng pambato ko.
Grabe si Marian talaga, no? Ang tindi ni Marian talaga. She's really, hindi ko alam kung paano nila ginagawa yan, no? Nauuna sila. So, pero ang nanalo sa araw na ito, attorney, is, no? Hindi si Marian eh. Lalaki siya. Oo, hindi ko alam kung nanalo na si Oliver. Ito si lalaki dati, si Oliver Fernandez. No? Oliver Fernandez, mabuhay ka, ha?
Mabuhay, papadalhan din kita ng something. Kasi pinadalhan kasi Marian ng little prize.
Attorney, nasa nasa Amerika to. Malayo to. Padala mo lang na kisses.
May Amazon naman, di ba, Oliver?
Kisses.
May online shopping naman, Oliver. Send mo sa akin.
Ang bait naman ni attorney. Ang bait naman ni attorney. Nako. Hindi, nakakatuwa lang naman. Sige, okay lang. Pero hindi naman every weekend, ha? Hindi every winner. Katuwan lang natin. Nakatuwan lang.
Ilang beses na rin si Oliver eh. Ma-effort si Oliver.
Ilang beses din si Marian talaga, di ba? Consistently yan, on all shows yan. Na talagang nandiyan siya, no? Si Oliver, si Oliver, nakwento ko naman siya, kasama ng lola niya yata, nakikinig sa akin nung araw. Pakita ko si attorney, matutuwa ka pag nakita mo kasi I was young then and I was signing the MOA's Memorandum of Agreement. I was doing a show, pangalan ng show ko sa TV kung taga Metro Manila ka, mapapanood mo ako sa home cable eh. Channel 21, Channel 17. Meron akong show, show ko? Night Jam. Ang guest ko, attorney, kung sino? Yung mga sikat na singers, mga banda ng araw.
Ang galing.
True Faith, you name it. Mga ganun, mga banda. Ganun, tapos pagpa-playing ko lang sila ng music, tapos mag-interview kami sa studio ko nung araw, no? Tapos may co-host ako, attorney. Ang co-host ko, ano ba yung maliit na yung pagong sa English?
Ano ba yun?
Turtle.
Tortoise. Hindi, tortoise.
Parang turtle yung aking, may co-host ako. Tapos may
co-host ka na.
Yeah. Katabi ko isang pagong. Tapos kinakausap ko, sumasagot naman, pero actually may tao na nagbo-voice over. Wala nakikipag-usap sa akin.
Oliver, maraming salamat.
Oliver, mabuhay ha?
Ay, good morning sa kanila. Good morning po, Attorney Donna. And our dashing Kuya Sonny from the Pacific Northwest. Hope you are feeling better na po, Kuya. Good morning sa inyo dyan, Oliver Fernandez.
Ang nakakatawa sa kanya, attorney, ang kanyang spirit, ang kanyang body is in the US, pero ang kanyang spirit nandito sa UK, no? So, mabuhay. Okay.
Oliver, send me your details. We'll sort something out. A little something din naman. A little something. Kasi
a little something lang. Sige.
A little something lang.
Ayan, kita niyo naman, napaka-sweet ni attorney. Ito naman, so si Oliver ang gold medalist natin for the August 3 Olympics, no? Ito naman ang silver winner natin, attorney. Ito na, yung sinasabi mo.
Ayan, Silver. Hello po. Magandang gabi. Kuya Sonny and Attorney Donna. Sa lahat, happy Tuesday po and stay safe and God bless. Happy Tuesday, Marian, and stay safe sa Devon nata si Marian.
Devon ba? Well, maganda picture niya, attorney. Ha? Kita mo, itong kagandahan sa atin, magaganda mga photos nila. Ayan,
ganda ng picture.
Ganda ng photo ni Marian. Marian, mabuhay ha. Pasensya ka na tuntut sa August 3 Olympics. Ano ka ngayon? Silver medalist ka. And ito na ang ating bronze winner. Bronze medalist natin. Ito, yan. Attorney yan.
Ay, si Rudy. Happy Tuesday po. Magandang Attorney Donna at gwapong Sir Sonny and all viewers from Titanic, Belfast. Magandang Rudy.
Rudy, mabuhay. Yes, to the whole family at yung kanyang anak na si ang tag dito mahusay si Mia. Alam mo, I was listening to the other attorney. I was listening to I think it was Radio 1 or Radio 2. And they were featuring this young singer artist with original compositions. Alam mo, para sa akin, mas mahusay pa si Mia. Mas I like the quality of the compositions of Mia compared to that lady na yon. So ayan. Okidoki. So teka na, tuloy natin mga pagbati pa. Sige, para mas ito yung best friend natin, attorney, na naka all caps lagi.
Well, Emily Rafael. Hello, Sonny and Attorney Donna. Good evening to you both and everyone. Good evening, Emily, and all cups to the time. She's looking fantastic.
Emmeline, mabuhay
Ang ganda ng hair. Mabuhay ka, Emily.
Maganda hair ni Emmeline. Emmeline, mabuhay. Ayan, so... wala. Napadala mo na ba kay Marian, attorney? Natanggap niyo na ba o hindi pa?
Natanggap niya na.
Okay. Ayan. Thank you po, Attorney Dana, sa iyong little things you sent me. Appreciated. Stay. Devon, siguro, alam mo, Attorney, dahil naipadala mo yata sa kanya, no? So that's good.
Napadala ko, yeah.
Kita nyo naman, parang ano lang to, sa little katuan lang, in the goodness of the heart of our lovely attorney, no? Nagpadala siya ng little gift, no? O, si Ma'am Cora. Ma'am Cora.
Hello, Sir Sonny, Attorney Donna, and all. Masayang gabi lahat. Masayang gabi. Nabulol ako konti, Ma'am Cora.
Masayang gabi. Ma'am Cora.
Masayang gabi din po, Ma'am Cora Carsola. Hope magaling na kayo, Sir Sonny. Yan mga wishes.
Oo nga, hindi pa totally, no? Ito, medyo, meron pang, obvious, no? Na medyo barado pa tayong, may coughs and colds pa tayo. Ayan. Pero did you know that there was this radio broadcaster, hindi ko nababanggitin on air ang pangalan, that during the time may sipon siya, nakasabay niya sa lift or sa elevator yung station manager ng isang radio station sa Pilipinas. And then and there, tinanggap siya. O sige, you're hired. Talagang ganda ng boses siya, may sipon eh.
May sipon, yan. Bedroom voice na bedroom.
Bedroom voice ka, nakikita niyo na yan, nasa GMA, Pasok! Naraman ang mga magbabalita. Kilala mo ba yan kung sino yun? Ha? Kilala mo yan?
Sige nga mo sila. Legal advice ko na para mga
Hindi, ano yun. Narito pa tayo sa balito. Pasok! Kasi di ba?
Si Enrique,
si Enriquez, si Mike Enriquez. Nakakatuwa yan. Si Buma. Kasi alam mo yung Buma?
Hindi po.
It's an elephant. Sabi, elephant kasi.
Okay.
Mukha siya kasi elepante kaya Buma. Tapos,
baka naman ma-cease and desist tayo dito.
Oy. Hindi, mahal ko yan si Mike. Hindi, nagkasama kami ni Mike. We were together. Okay. To let you know, para lang sa kaalaman din ng mga kababayan natin, Mike Enriquez and Mel Chanco and I were together in one network. It's called Radio Mindanao Network, DZXL. Yeah. When President Marcos left the country, nung panahon ng ano pangalan to, nung mawala siya, coup d'etat, revolution. So pagkatapos noon, Mel Chanco was working as a newscaster at Channel 4 then, so government station. So everybody who was affiliated sa government parang nawala. So she, from television, she did radio work sa DZXL. So magkakasama kami ron. Ako naman, I was a news director for Mareco Broadcasting Company, and they got me there. Yung news director ng si Max Sucue Jr. Encouraged me to, convince me to, para ilipat ka na rito. Dito ka na sa amin. And the way that he was able to convince me was he brought me to Chinatown and brought me to the most, parang the tastiest restaurant yata doon sa Chinatown. Para sama na ako sa inyo. Para sama ka na sa amin, Sonny. And that was it. And then I was introduced Sonny, si Mel Chanco, si Mike Enriquez. But I'm a lot younger than the guys, the girls, si Mel no. So and then Mel eventually became my kumare. She's the grandmother to my daughter, si Sarah May, no. So magkasama-sama kami nila Mike Enriquez at Pero nakakatawa, those were the days. And one of them, si Mike Abe, you might not know him, is prominently one of the broadcasters of SMNI Yung batch namin na yun, you will now see them doing either TV newscast on Channel 4, kamukha ni Rolly Gonzalo, no? You will see him, no?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, sa Channel 5, Channel 2, nakikita mo si Tony Velasquez. Magkasama rin kami Tony Velasquez
yeah.
sa Channel 5. Okay, ay teka muna, tuloy lang natin mabilis to, tapos may para ma-discuss mo yung topic natin for tonight. No? Oo, we haven't seen each other for a long time. Oo, matagal-tagal na tayo hindi nagkita for a long time. Okay. Ayan, si Oliver, ito Oliver Fernandez, sabi niya, ano yan, pasensya na po Kuya Sonny and Attorney Dana.
Kinakarir ko po talaga. Currently cooking breakfast for the family. Sarap naman.
I was forced to get up one morning. Gutom na gutom ako, nagluto ako. No? Nagluto ako. Ayan, Emily Rafael, yan.
Thank you. Thank you to both of you for the compliments. Thank you both. Maraming salamat din po, Ma'am Emeline. Thank you.
Oh, love you both, no?
I love you. Love you then.
So, we love you then. We love you. We love you. From the bottom of our hearts, no? Yeah, totoo yan. This is a wonderful family we've created. Okay, attorney, mag-break lang tayo, ha? And then we continue on with yung ating discussion, no? Yung gusto mong i-discuss, no? Okay, wag ko kayong alis, mga kaibigan, at tayo po ay magbabalik, no? Dito po sa ating programa. At ano discuss nga pala, attorney?
Financial disclosure.
Financial disclosures. Okay. So, pag-uusapang pera pag-uusapan natin. Pagbalik ko natin. Sa divorce. Ayan, wag mo kayo alis, saglit po lamang.
Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O, ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
May problema ka ba sa landlord mo? Baka AV ka na ni Kuya. May problema sa mga kapitbahay, sa trabaho. O kaya naman kay Mister o kay Mrs. Away tungkol sa mana, mga may utang, mga aksidente, daing o laban sa ospital or sa NHS, harassment, o baka naman may stalker ka na gusto mong ireklamo. Punta na sa DV Solicitors para matulungan ka pagdating sa mga litigations at iba pang mga legal concerns. DV Solicitors at 2nd floor, Howard House, St. John Street, Bedford, MK42 0DJ. Tumawag sa 01234-350-244 or 01234-225-188 o kaya naman mag-email sa d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. Visit our website at www.dvsolicitors.com.
During these trying times, we salute the frontliners who are tirelessly caring for all of us against the COVID-19. To all the courageous nurses, doctors, carers, and paramedics at the NHS, words are not enough to thank you. We at Highlight Express International are here to support you back with a full semester 10% discount when you send your balikbayan boxes to your family in the Philippines. Dahil ang Highlight Express International ay para sa pamilya.
Okay, nako, balik ko tayo sa ating programa. Welcome back dito ho sa Legal Advice Corner. Yan, naubo na ho tayo with yours truly, Sonny Laragan. No? Siyempre, kasama natin yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada, Attorney DANNA QUINTO. Attorney, good evening once again. No?
Magandang gabi sa iyo, Mr. Lagan. Thank you for your efforts na to turn up today kahit paubo-ubo ka na parado. So sorry.
Oh, hindi, ganun ako yata, Attorney. Pag towards the end of the show, doon ako there was I remember yung show yata na yun, talagang tumutulo na yung sipon ko talaga. Wala akong nakalimutan ko mo ng tissue, kaya sinisimple ako, pinupunasan ko na yung sipon ko, tumutulo na. Usually towards the end.
Pagpagod ka na mamaya, pwede naman ako mag-doble cara eh. Sabi ko, doon ako, datanong ko na lang yung sarili ko. Dana!
Uy, Attorney, ganyan kami mag-audition. Ganyan ang audition. Oh, ganyan ang audition. Ang audition, yes. They will try when that's also what I do when I try to interview someone, yung diba, when I was a news director. Pero sa iba talaga they will make you play act. Kunyari, sige nga, mag-sample ka. Kunyari, nagre-report ka, di ka sasabihin sa'yo, kunyari ka na, sige nga, mag-sample nga, magano ka. Okay, mga kaibigan, narito ho tayo sa panulukan ng Rizal Avenue at sa kasalukuyan, narito ho ang kagawad ng pamatay, tawag dito, yung superintendent po ng Fire Brigade. Kakapanayambin natin, magandang hapon po, Fire Marshal o Fire Supervisor.
Yeah.
Magandang hapon din. Sir, ano ho ba ang nangyari dito? Bakit ho nasunog dito? Ganyan. Kasi nasa ikalawang, you will have to play ako. Sometimes we do that. Oh, hindi ano yun.
Ako pa natuto.
Kaya pwede rin yan. Pero nakakatuwa yun. Para Attorney DANNA, sarili mo na. Attorney DANNA, kumusta na yung tas sasagot ka ngayon sa kabila, di ba? But that would be cute. That would be cute. Kaya lang, yeah. Yeah, but ito nga, well, I have to... Hindi naman. Attorney, ikaw, you've been very, very, articulate naman talaga sa ating ako yung naswerte lang sa'yo. Ako, wala akong ibang naging job all over my life. In my entire life, ganun, except media and broadcasting. So, yun ang, kaya when I arrived here, wala tayong radyo, no? Oy, teka muna. Hindi ako, pag-usapan natin yung financial disclosure in divorce proceedings yata, no?
Proceedings, correct,
okay.
Yes.
Sige. Attorney, sige. Take it away.
Yes. One of the most commonly asked questions sa akin, whenever Pilipino man o hindi, whenever they're trying to obviously deal with their finances, matrimonial finances, sa divorce, gustong mabilis, gusto makatipid sa legal costs, at gusto matapos na wala masyadong gulo. Sabihin, Attorney DANNA, nag-usap kami, napag-usapan na namin kung ano yung gagawin namin. Pwede bang wag na kaming mag-financial disclosure kasi sabi mo, 'di ba, kailangan namin ng mga impormasyon na to. Pwede ba 'yon? Parating sinasabi sa akin. Ito na, may deal na kami. Ito yung gagawin namin. Pero hindi ko nakita yung impormasyon kung magkano savings niya, kung magkano pension niya, etc. We always say as lawyers na hindi po recommended yung ruta na hindi nyo talaga makikita kung ano yung full and frank financial disclosure ng isa't isa. A number of reasons why it's so important and why actually required siya. The first thing is, babalik tayo sa basics. Paano tayo gagawa ng isang desisyon, probably one of the biggest decisions in our adult life, one of the biggest financial decisions we'll ever make, kung wala tayong kumpletong impormasyon sa harap natin. Paano natin sasabihin na we're taking a reasonable portion ng matrimonial pot kung hindi natin alam kung ano yung matrimonial pot? Kumbaga, paano tayo kukuha ng slice ng cake? Sasabihin natin, 50% yung nakuha ko, fair na fair yan. Kung hindi natin alam kung gaano kalaki yung cake. So that's always a starting point. I always tell my client, it's up to you at the end of the day, kung gusto mong, kung satisfied ka na dun sa in-offer, what's most important from our point of view, and as well as the court's point of view, which I will expound upon later on, is that you have the full information in front of you and that you have understood kung ano yung tatanggapin mo at ano yung ile-let go mo. And with that, we can say that absolutely this is the full and final settlement of it. This is the end of it. Most importantly, in divorces, kung gusto mo ng clean break, which is a lot of my clients say, ayoko nang habulin ako ever, ayoko na makita siya, or sometimes they still have to see each other, but in terms of dealing with them, ayoko nang habulin ako, ayoko nang may magkaroon pa ng claim sila sa isa't isa. So ano yung kailangan ko, attorney? Ano yung kailangan ko na order dyan? So what you need is what we call a clean break order. And makukuha mo lang yan kung may stamp ng korte, kung approved ng korte ang agreement nyo. So we call a consent order. That's an agreement by consent, as what the title says. If you have a consent order at sasabihin mo sa korte, please can you approve this? Kailangan mong mag-submit ng isa pang form, actually, kahit may consent order ka na. And they call it a D81. Ito po yung D81 na form. So kahit na nag-agree na kayo, kailangan nyo pa rin mag-submit nito. And what it requires, amongst other things, is what they call a summary of means. So may table dyan. Nakalagay yung asset, property, capital, liabilities, pension, etc. So it gives the court a snapshot, isa parang screenshot ng assets and liabilities nyo. Para malaman ng korte na yung agreement nyo, so the court will be given two documents. The first document is your agreement, and the second document is what we call a D81, or a statement of information. This is, ano na kayo ha? Nag-agree na kayo nito. Pero check pa rin ng korte. I-check pa rin ng korte. Bago nila sabihin sa inyo na out of final na clean break na to, the court has that jurisdiction to double check it. So they would want to know, even if you're both represented by solicitors, kahit na pareho kayong may abogado, kahit na full and frank disclosure yung ginawa nyo, 2 years na nag-exchange kayo ng documents, even though you've been dealing with it even via litigation, family litigation, and you agreed, you settled at the end of the day, the court would still want to see kung ano yung agreement nyo, and compare it dun sa snapshot, or that snapshot of your assets and liabilities, because they want to be satisfied that both parties have reached a sensible, a fair, and reasonable agreement. So, gagawin nyo lang din naman, kung nag-agree kayo at kung gusto nyo ng consent order, then it's very, very important to do it right the first time around. Kasi pag nagawa nyo na, una pa lang, bago kayo nag-agree, ng terms ng consent order nyo, all you need to do, sabi ko sa kliyente ko, ito tayo, pro tip tayo parate, paano ba makatipid ng legal cost, attorney? Paano ba to? Kasi napakarami ng stories about about legal costs going very high, naubos na lang yung savings namin sa kababayad sa abogado. What I always tell my client is, merong paraan to keep legal costs down, but still get the full advice of your solicitor, still maximize kung ano yung pwede mong, legally entitled to. And this is how we would recommend it. We would recommend at some point that you do yung voluntary disclosure between yourselves. So we would say, ito yung listahan ng kailangan namin, impormasyon, financial disclosure. So why don't you go and collect and collate those documents and put it in we can all, either you or us, we can put it in an Excel spreadsheet or table form. Normally in court proceedings, we put it in Form E. But kung voluntary, we'd like to put it in a user-friendly na version. So we'll put it in an Excel spreadsheet. Parang ganito, gagayahin namin kung ano yung gusto ng korte. Gagayahin namin kung ano yung format na madaling maintindihan ng lahat ng partido. So you do that, you do the homework, kolektahin mo yung impormasyon na to, what normally, ano ba to, which financial information do you need? We need yung valuation ng bahay nyo, ng lahat ng assets mo, kaya dito man o sa Pilipinas. Kung may property kayo na pinaparentahan, investment property dito or investment properties in Spain, you have to put it there, a formal valuation by an estate agent, how much that property is worth. So that's one thing. We also need mortgage statements. Magkano yung utang sa bangko in terms of mortgage? Magkano yung tinatawag nating redemption figure? We also need bank statements. Lahat ng bank statements mo. Technically, if you're in court, you have to produce 12 months of bank statements. So produce that as well. Produce the whole 12 months of bank statements, as well as loans, liability, credit cards, at iba pang mga ISA or savings. So everything, when you think about financial, lahat ng assets mo and liabilities, you have to produce that. Kung ikaw ay may negosyo, you have to produce business accounts as well as yung last tax assessment mo. You may have to talk to your accountant to ask them, magkano yung value ng company ko? So you do that homework. Lawyers, technically, we can do that, pero pag kami yung gumawa niyan, mas mataas yung gastos, mas mataas yung cost. So we normally give the clients a list of what they need to do, and they go out and do that. And they come back, we can collate it in a nice, easy, user-friendly way. And I can say to you, or to the other side, either via Form E, or as I would have said, informal disclosures, you can agree with the other side via lawyers o kayo, diretso, kung talagang maayos pa ang usapan nyo. Some parties have done this in the past na they will have a sit down. Sila lang dalawa. Kung andun pa sila sa, they're still living together in the same home, they'll have a sit down at the kitchen. Both of them would have their financial disclosures. And kaliwaan sila. Sige, kaliwaan na tayo. Ito na yung disclosures ko. Or lawyers can do that as well. So, pagkaliwaan, the other party kami, titingnan namin kung ano yung binigay na impormasyon ng kabila. And I can give the advice to my client kung ano yung dapat niya, ano ba yung kailangan niya na, ano yung legally entitled siya, and ano yung scope na pwede niyang matanggap kung if this case would go in front of a judge, and ano yung tactics in terms of negotiating with the other side. Also, how to move assets around, kung ano yung practically possible for this particular family. And that's the reason why importanteng makita namin yung disclosure. So we're not giving financial advice, we're giving legal advice on how to possibly encourage the client to make a deal with the other side. Kung ano yung, how they can package these settlements. Ano ba yung pwedeng, yung pwedeng ma-move ng mga asset, yung pwedeng, one party may have more of one asset, one less of one asset. So that's the reason why it's very important for us to have also the full picture. So I can say to them, gusto ata ng kabila yung ganyang property so why don't we move it around? And then once we move it around, pagkatapos niyan, 50-50 pa rin kayo. So that's the idea. The idea is that the client helps us get the information and exchange with the other side. And then when it's down to the legal work, we give purely legal work, yun naman yung binabayaran mo sa amin, legal advice to the client. And then the client, kung maayos ang usapan, they can go back dun sa magiging ex nila, and they can say, I've got my advice, you've got your own legal advice, now we can talk kung ano ba yung gusto natin gawin sa mga finances natin. And then they will have a chat, they will deal with it directly, they will negotiate. And I always say to my client, you can agree heads of terms but not fully agree. Pwede mong sabihin na you'll take legal advice first. So Once something is nearly there, malapit na kayong mag-agree, you go away, both of you go away to your respective legal advisors and obtain final legal advice dun sa deal na gagawin nyo. And then lawyers can put that in writing. So really, that's the gist of how you can deal with the finances in a proportionate manner na hindi ganun kagastos, hindi kayo pupunta agad sa korte, hindi kayo, you're not embroiled in this very long litigation. I appreciate this only works kung nakakausap nyo yung kabilang partido, kung nakikinig yung kabilang partido, kung willing participant yung kabilang partido sa sistema. But I always tell my clients as well na hindi lang ikaw yung makaka-save ng pera, pati sila din. They will save. It's a win-win situation. The reality is that kailangan yung hatiin yung pera. Kailangan yung hatiin yung matrimonial properties. That's the reality. From one household, you need to be two households. You need to deal with your children, with raising the children. You need to deal with contribution in terms of children's expenses. You both suddenly have to have two mortgages, or yung isa magre-renta o yung isa magmo-mortgage. So it's really in both of your interest to save money at hindi i-burn ang inyong hard-earned money sa lawyers. And I say that to my clients. You know what? Pag kayo ay nag-away na napakatagal, ang magiging masaya lang ay mga abogado nyo. So it's in both of your best interests to make a deal, to try to make the case as smoothly as possible. Kung may mga impormasyon kayo na pareho nyong kayang kunin nyo dalawa. Get information, get legal advice dun sa impormasyon na nakuha nyo from each other, and talk about how practically you can achieve this division of properties. And when that happens, and it has happened in some of my cases, talagang bababa, talagang ang laki ng difference sa legal costs. And even we're talking about properties that are quite substantive, but then they had a chat, they followed the same process. They went and took the information, they collated it, kinumpile nila. They exchanged that information. Then before they made the deal, they took legal advice first. And then bumalik sila, nag-usap sila diretso, ito yung sabi ng abogado ko, ito yung sabi ng abogado mo, what do you think, what do you think? And they made offers for between both of them. They're trying to to give offers. And then they went again to their lawyers on the side and said, okay, ito yung sabi nila. And it's all not happening in one day. It's taken a few days, but not long then. It's not taken years. And they managed to save thousands and thousands of legal costs. And in the end, hindi ganun ka bitter yung process. They managed to get to the end of it within a few months. And both of the parties have now moved on. So that's a pro tip in terms of, how you can save legal costs. Now, actually, doing full and frank disclosure at the start will make life easier for both of you, will make a consent order much easier dahil kukunin na lang yung informasyon dun sa Excel spreadsheet na ginawa nyo, ilalagay na lang namin dito sa statement of information. And it gives you that confidence, both of you, that confidence that you are making a decision based on full information. Na walang nagtatago sa pareho sa inyo, na walang underhanded, and that both of you are also gaining a benefit by saving on legal costs. If you deal with it as quickly as possible from the start, exchange all of this information between yourselves, this can be as smooth as it can possibly be. Hindi naman kailangan maging madugo o sobrang mahal or sobrang bitter ang isang divorce proceedings. There are instances, if both parties are up for it, that it can be as a transition period na mapunta na kayo sa sa kanya-kanyang ruta nyo na maayos kayo. So to recap, you really need it dahil kailangan mo to make that big decision, that big financial decision in your life. Also, kailangan mo to have a clean break na hindi na makaklaim yung isang tao, yung kabilang partido sa'yo. At kailangan din yan ng korte para i-approve yung clean break order na yan because of what we call D81. And these information consists pretty much of everything, all the financial assets as well as liabilities of any individual, including your businesses. So this is, walang tago-tago to, lahat ng asset at liabilities mo, you really have to disclose. And then with that, it is possible to save money, to get to the conclusion with a bit of your sanity and savings intact.
Okay, naku, malaking bagay, ano? Full disclosure ang pinakamahalaga, no? And you talk it between yourselves, no? And simple lang pala, Excel file lang, attorney, okay na, parang addendum. Doon sa pinaka-form.
Yung Excel is an example of how yung na-process po yung information. Hindi at Excel lang. You need to give the supporting information. But how they did it is they've got the supporting information. Doon yung lahat ng informasyon nila. And then they put it in a nice table para madali mo makita, ito pala yung total na savings mo. Yun yung total na savings ko. Ito yung total ng utang mo. Ito yung total ng utang mo. It's hindi na Excel lang yung kailangan. Kailangan mo ng lahat ng dokumento so you can arrive at that summary document. So that you can have a full, yung makikita mo lang sa isang paper na, ito pala yung, this is what we own, this is what I owe, this is what you owe. Para para madali kayong mag-usap, para madali mong ma-justify sa kabila. Kailangan ko ng mas maraming pera. Kita mo naman, mas malaki yung utang ko kaysa sa'yo at mas malaki yung pension mo, mas malaki yung income mo, mas malaki yung savings mo. And look at my savings, look at my income, and look at my outgoings. Ako yung magbabayad para sa mga bata. So, imbes na mag-aaway kayo, you can always draw them back to the facts rather than the emotions. And that assists in the situation. Imbes na sabihin mo, marami akong gastos. And then you end up having a debate kung ano nangyari dun sa buhay nyo. Kung meron kayong gano'n na informasyon sa tapat nyo, mas madali na sabihin mo, hindi ako nagsisinungaling dahil makikita mo naman dyan sa bank statements na yan. Na ito yung, kaya ako humihingi, hindi dahil gusto kitang pahirapan, o hindi dahil bitter ako sa divorce. Kaya ako humihingi, it's because of this particular fact na kailangan ko talaga siya. And according to my solicitor, I am entitled under this law to have a bit more of this because of my future needs. So that makes negotiations easy. That makes negotiations less emotional or less volatile, kumbaga. You can always draw to the facts. And kung sasabihin ng kabila, hindi yan. Not quite true yan. And then, at least ready na yung informasyon sa harap nyo. Ready na yung dokumento sa harap nyo. So with any agreement, any discussion, any dialogue, you want to help that dialogue to be constructive. You want to help that dialogue to achieve what it needs to achieve. What it needs to achieve is for you guys to figure out kung paano nyo i-divide yung pera nyo. And what you need really is ang set ng information kung magkano ba talaga? Ano ba yung nandyan sa matrimonial pa?
So ayan, pag talagang talagang masusing ayusin lang yung yung information i-divulge lahat, full disclosure nga, i-disclose lahat. Para nang sa ganun, it would save time and money as well, no? At yung hassle, di ba? So, yan, mas maganda napapag-usapan nilang dalawa. Dahil pagka dumaan pa yan sa merong tinatawag na dumaan ako sa ganun, attorney, because I had my divorce, no?
FDR?
Hindi, yung parang ano, yung mediation.
Yeah, you can go mediation or you can go FDR. FDR is Financial Dispute Resolution Hearing. So parang ganun din po.
Oh, okay.
So,
Pero pwedeng yung pinag-uusapan natin, pwedeng direktang sila na mag-uusap, ganun? Para walang problema? Or kasi sinasabi mo, ipipresent pa sa lawyer, sa kabilang lawyer, ito, naayos mo na, tapos ipipresent sa kabila, di ba? Parang ganun yata. Yung mga sinasabi
I
mo.
mean, you're gonna have to have legal advice.
Legal advice. You have to have legal advice. Okay.
Ano yung entitled ka? And hindi kita mabibigyan ng legal advice kung hindi ko alam kung ano yung meron kayo.
Ayun, okay. So hindi lang pala akala ko parang ilista mo lang talaga yung ano mo, yung mga assets nyo, liabilities.
We'd have to find the evidence. So pag sasabihin mo ganyan yung asset ng kabila, well, give me evidence na ganyan talaga. With anything in law.
Okay.
Paano kami makakabigay ng impormasyon, ng advice, unless verifiable yung information na nasa harap namin. So, it needs to be verifiable. So, kung gusto mo mabigyan kita ng advice at mabigyan ko ng, mabigyan ka ng sufficient na guidance moving forward, you need to be able to get that, we need to be able to get that information na alam natin, verifiable, na alam natin na ito totoo. Kasi kung hindi naman totoo yung informasyon, walang kwenta yung advice na ibibigay natin kasi it's not based on the correct information.
Ayun. Hindi pwedeng basta-basta lang, no?
I mean, with any decision that you want to make, you want to be able to make it on the right set of facts, on the right set of information. Kasi akala mo, I'm making, let's say for example, you're basing it on the fact na sabi lang sa'yo 100,000 yung worth ng property. 100,000. Sabi ko, yan, laki na makukuha ko, 100,000 daw eh. Tapos ang totoo pala, 50,000 lang yon. So that's that will make a huge difference, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yes, of course.
It's very important that you have verifiable information, and that's the reason for full and frank disclosure. So when you kaya hindi lang siya Excel spreadsheet. The Excel spreadsheet is there for ease of reference. Pero kailangan andun lahat ng informasyon. Like valuation. Sino tatanungin mo? I may think 100,000 yan. Baka, pero sabi ng estate agent, sa market pala yan is 50,000 na yan. So you need to find out these information that you can rely on. That you can make your decision on. So, yun ang natin. Kasi, yun din ang ina-expect ng korte. If you don't get to an agreement, the court will ask for all of this information so that the court can give the judgment. Ayaw nyo, kung hindi nyo kayang mag-agree, the court will make the judgment.
Mas mahal, mas magastos pa, no? And it took a longer time. Di ba? Time and money, no? Ang pinaka, no? So, okay.
Effort and all of that. So, kung ganun din naman ang ending, pag hindi kayo nag-agree, and you better do it properly na lang. You better do it like how it should be done from the start.
Ayan. So, napakalaking tip mula ako kay Attorney Danna Quinto, no? So, kailangan talaga full disclosure, ayusin na maayos ng sa ganun. O, siyempre, with the consultation with your lawyers, respective lawyers, no? Para nang sa ganun, properly guided kayo. So, at least, maliwanag ko yan. Ubo lang ako, attorney.
Ako muna, magta-tablet karo muna ako.
So okay na yun. Ayun ang ating topic ngayon. Yung ating topic na pinag-usapan ng mga kaibigan is, those sa mga nag-tune in perhaps at a later time ngayon, itong financial disclosures in divorce proceedings. Okay. Attorney, siguro, yun na muna siguro, no? At least na-discuss natin, no? And it's, sana fully okay na ako next week, no? Hopefully, babiyahin kami hindi ko alam kung tuloy because we booked a flight sa Spain next week, no? Pero end of next week pa, sana matuloy na. Kaya sana gusto ko rin gumaling na kagad. Isang taon na? Oo nga, isang taon na, ano ba tawag doon? Ang tawag dito, booking, cancellation. Kasi laging nag-change ang nag-change ang advisory, no? Travel advisory, no? And hopefully maka-travel na. Okay. Attorney, teka
Magpahinga ka
may
na,
isang
Mr.
pagbati lang tayo
Laragan,
dito.
no? Okay ka ba
May,
dyan,
may,
no?
may pagbati lang tayo dito. Nice haircut, Sir Sunny, sabi ni ano, pangalan nito. Si, ito, si,
Oh, si AIDS. Bago. Nice.
bago. Bago ba, attorney?
Yeah, hello to both. Bago si AIDS. Nako, welcome sa Legal Advice Corner, AIDS. Nako, Mr. Laragan, kailangan na namin atang pagpahingahin dahil na ano ka towards the end, na magpahinga ka na po. Magpahinga sa
Lagi akong may energy pa ako sa simula. Sa huli, doon na lumalabas yung ano, no? Yung parang, yan, lalong na ubo na tayo. Sinisipon, no? Ito, si Oliver Fernandez, attorney, meron lang siyang quick question. Nabasa mo ba yung kanyang question?
Yes. Attorney, paano po kung meron po na tinago yung other parties such as offshore assets? Unang-una, if yung Form E, kung sa korte yan, if you're in a court proceedings, or whether or not in a court proceedings, if na-discover later on na may tinago ka, pwedeng i-undo yung consent order. Pwedeng maging invalid yung inyong naging deal. And kung nag-sign ka ng Form E, which is financial disclosure, at alam na nagsinungaling ka, contempt of court yan, at pwede kang makulong. So very, very serious consequences. At pwede ka pa rin, it's the job of the lawyers to find out about this offshore assets and to ask for directions, kumbaga, na maghanap ng mga ng minsan third party disclosure in terms of assets, but warning against dun sa misrepresent ng situation. As I've said, it is possible na maging invalid ang isang agreement on the basis na nagsinungaling ka. So, wala ka pa rin kawala.
So yun nga, sana akala ko hindi mo sasagutin na ganun pala pagka let's say hindi din-disclose, wala na, di ba? Pero pagka later on nalaman, meron palang penalty ng either makulong ka, no? Contempt of court. And of course, hindi naman rescind ba ang word mo for the yung kung anong pinag-usapan na naging kasunduan sa
Mababari yung ma-open na. Set aside yung consent order. Or you can apply to vary that order on the basis of someone being caught misrepresenting the information. So may mga consequences, very serious consequences.
So, huwag niyong gawin kasi kung malaman, yun danger. Kung hindi malaman, makakalusot ko siguro. Pero ang danger nga rin, may kulong.
We cannot advise na
full disclosure ka na. Total, maghihiwalay na naman kayo, no? Ayaw na naman ninyo sa isa't isa, mag-move on na kayo, no? Di ba? Parang si Belinda Gates at saka si ano pangalan asawa sino si Gates? Bill Gates and Melinda Gates.
Bill Gates, yes.
Bill and Melinda,
Yes,
Pati si Amazon din, di ba? Naghiwalay na rin si Amazon, si Jeff Bezos, no?
Laki ng doon.
Malaki na ako, dahil yun, walang prenuptial agreement, no? Okay, well, attorney, sige. Baka meron ka pang nais na banggitin, i-anunsyo o ayan, no? At siyempre, kung saan na pwede makontak, no, attorney? Yan ang pinakamahalaga niyan, no? Sige. Okay. Ito, attorney. Okay.
You can email me at d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. There it is, over there. Or you can ring me at 01234-225-188. And para sa paborito naming host ng bayan, please get well soon, Mr. Laragan. Pahinga ka na. Maraming salamat po sa time niyo ngayon. Thank you so much. And we all appreciate you and appreciate po namin yung efforts niyo. So, thank you for turning up today. Pahinga na po.
No, well, ako talaga, I'd like to, no? Sabi ko medyo okay naman ako, kaya pa. And so I decided we have to do the show, no? Kaya nga lang kanina medyo, pasensya na attorney din kung medyo na-late yung abiso sa'yo, no? Na pwede tayo mag-show. Yeah, but I don't want to miss this show because I don't want to, it's also, we've been together with all of our kababayans for the whole year, for last year, no? My only trip last year in Spain, I think it was March yata yun, if I'm not mistaken.
Just before the lockdown.
Before the lockdown, and we were lucky enough before it was implemented yung lockdown, we were able to get out, no? I think we did it on the day before. So yeah, I don't want to miss it, and I appreciate, and dangan nga lamang medyo bitin ako, medyo cool lang ang dating, sexy dahil nga medyo hindi ka makatodo eh. Baka biglang umubo ka, no? So ayan, okay, biglang may lumobo yung, di ba nakakahiya yung attorney, biglang yung imagine mo lang yung situation na biglang may lumobo dyan sa ilong mo, di ba? So yun ang napakahirap. But anyway, maraming salamat to, no? Attorney, sa ngalan mo, no? Sa ngalan mo at sa ngalan ng mga nanonood sa atin, no? Maraming salamat to sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay dito sa ating programa, no? Pasensya na ako medyo kayo. Hindi ako 100%, but at least the show must go on. Hopefully next week sana at least this whole week makabawi ako. So, sa ngalan ni Attorney Danna Quinto, Sonny LARAGAN dito nagsasabing take care, God bless, stay safe, and good night. Bye!
Good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you. So you can be there for them.